Chat, 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 chat. I gotta dust off this fucking shit. I gotta dust off this fucking disc. Chat, 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 chat. I'm the real Joe Blow pussy. I'm the real Joe Blow pussy boy. Oh, I'm the real deal still. I just touched down on the pussy neck. Huh. I just touched down on the pussy neck. I just get it in and I get it gone. I just get it with twin, then I did it again. I just got it. I just got it. Gotta get it with twin for real. I don't know what I did, but I did it with spin. And I did it with who? I did it with twin. I did it with twin for real. I did it. Then I popped it, popped it, popped it. Oh man, I need some fucking better shit to do. Oh, I'm getting bored of fucking life. I'm gonna keep that shit 10K. I'm gonna keep that shit 10,000. I'm gonna keep that shit 10,000. I'm gonna do it like a powwow wheel, yeah. Sometimes you can't mind me what I say, cause I say stupid shit. Cause I say stupid shit for real. Whoa, 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 that's me.
Motherfuckers did WAP dirty, bro. They robbed that man. Like they lucky WAP some cool, bro. Cause if that was me, if I get robbed like that, oh nah, it's going down. And them,
You saying the labels or like
and
friends?
them, the watching this right now, they know what I'm talking about.
Okay, okay.
That's the same thing as like getting tricked off the streets. They tricked them off the streets. They
Gotcha.
did, bro. They did. It's like, oh yeah, you Fetty Wap, you was on top of the world one time. But that shit starts slowing up, man. As far as that, I was around him and he was activated, and I used to talk to him, and I used to be like, bro, you bugging. It's crazy because I'm trying to step out the streets. He trying to step in them. I'm like, the fuck is you doing? Nah, we ain't, nah. You feel me? But he f***ing with me, and he like, oh, bro, what's good? I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
Nah. You in the music industry. You in the game. I'm trying to get in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know what he really going through, but he start telling me. So he trying to, like, yo, Albert, you got the streets. Let's get this. I'm like, no. I'm trying to f with his music.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get the f out of here. Motherfucker did WAP dirty, bro.
Yeah, I ain't heard of him ever since a couple of years ago. That's crazy. I ain't heard of him since that was my shit. That freestyle with him in the like the red and black, like I call him lumberjack. I call him lumberjack like sweatshirts really. But they like I can't explain it. But they like red and black, but they look checkerboard. I can't explain it. They put that type of like cloth in shoes, like all type of shit. But yeah, since he did that freestyle,
Every time you book an Airbnb, you're trusting a stranger's home. Their pool, their balcony railing, their gas heater behind a closed bathroom door. Most trips end with a 5-star review and a suitcase full of dirty laundry. But in the cases we're covering today, guests checked in and never came home. Carbon monoxide, hidden pool drops, a party that turned into a massacre. 6 real deaths inside properties listed as safe places to stay. Case 1, the party that ended in gunfire. The listing said it was for a family reunion. That's what the renter told the homeowner when he booked the property on Lucille Way in Orinda, California, a quiet, affluent suburb in the hills east of San Francisco. A small gathering, maybe a dozen people. The owner took him at his word. By Halloween night, 31st of October 2019, more than 100 people were inside that house. Someone had posted an Instagram flyer advertising an Airbnb mansion party. Word spread fast. Young people showed up from across the Bay Area, dressed.
Is this the shit that just happened to where, damn, I'm spitting all on my mic and shit? God damn. Is this the shit that just happened like a couple, I think it was a couple months ago. And, like, it set on fire, and then, like, some people couldn't get out, and, like, 20 people died? I think that's what this is.
For Halloween, looking for a night out.
They say you can hear people screaming and shit. Like, they say you know how you bring the bottles and they got the sparkles in it? They say that's what caught all this shit on fire. And I think that's what this is.
By the time neighbors called police about the noise, the house was packed beyond any reasonable capacity, with no security, no screening at the door, and no one in charge. Then the shooting started. At least one person drew a firearm inside the crowded rooms. Rapid gunfire sent people scrambling over each other to get out, through doors, down the driveway, into the street. When police arrived, they found bodies inside and
This took a whole nother different turn. This definitely ain't what I was talking about.
and on the property. Tion Farrow, 22, Ramon Hill, 23, Javen County, 29, Omar Taylor, 24, and Oceana Tompkins, 19, were all fatally shot that night. Several others were rushed to hospital with gunshot wounds. Investigators pieced together what had happened quickly enough. The renter had lied about the purpose of the booking. Airbnb's platform had no mechanism in place to catch that kind of deception before it happened. A private home in a residential neighborhood became a publicized party venue, and when conflict broke out in a space that size with no oversight, the consequences were exactly what you'd expect. No one has ever been charged with the killings. The case remains officially unsolved. The shooting did produce one concrete result. Airbnb's CEO publicly called the event horrific and announced a permanent ban on what the company termed party houses, along with new risk screening measures designed to flag high-risk bookings before they happened. The policy now exists because 5 people died. Whether it's consistently enforced is a separate debate. The homeowner rented his property believing it was going to a family for a quiet gathering. He had no reason to think otherwise. That's perhaps the most uncomfortable part of the whole story. He followed the process. The renter lied. The platform had no meaningful way to verify the claim. Nobody checked. A quiet residential neighborhood in the hills became a packed, publicized venue with no security and whatever weapons the guests chose to bring with them. Oceana Tompkins was 19 years old, the youngest of the 5 victims. By most accounts, she was simply someone who had gone out for Halloween. Tion, Ramon, Javen, and Omar ranged from 22 to 29. None of them had any reason to think the night would end the way it did. Their families are still waiting. Case 2. The gift she never opened. Leah Pierce was 20 years old, a nursing student at Simmons University in Boston, working as a certified nursing assistant at Massachusetts General Hospital. Her family described her as funny, unpredictable, deeply ambitious. Her mother said she was at the top of her game, happy, in love, excited about everything ahead of her. In early January 2023, Leah and her boyfriend flew to Cancun for a vacation. By the night of 6th January, they were singing "That's Amore" on the beach, according to her sister. It had been exactly the kind of day you go to Mexico for. Then they got back to the Airbnb and realized they'd locked themselves out. The keys were inside. The apartment was on the 3rd floor. Rather than call the host, knock on a neighbor's door, or wait for a locksmith, Leah decided to climb the outside of the building to reach the balcony. At night, 3 stories up. No rope, no harness, no one holding anything. She made it part way. Then she lost her grip. The fall was 3 stories straight down. Mexican authorities who responded to the scene determined she died instantly from the impact, the kind of trauma consistent with a fall from that height onto hard ground. Her boyfriend, who was present, was initially treated as a suspect because the couple had argued earlier in the evening. Police investigated quickly and cleared him. It was an accident, a completely avoidable one. Her family gave interviews to Boston media in the days that followed, trying to make sense of a loss that made no sense at all. A 20-year-old with a nursing career ahead of her, someone who spent her professional life learning how to keep other people alive, died climbing a building in the dark because she didn't want to wait for a locksmith. There's no villain in this story, and no lawsuit to point to. It was a decision made in a moment, the kind of impulsive choice that most people make and survive without consequence. What makes it land so hard is the gap between who Leah was and what killed her. She worked nights at Massachusetts General. She knew what the inside of an emergency room looked like. She was training for a career built on the idea that human life is worth protecting. None of that knowledge was available to her in the 2 seconds she spent deciding to climb rather than call. Her mother said she died so happy, so in love, so proud and excited about her future. Her sister remembered her as extremely unpredictable, extremely quirky, extremely funny. Those are the kinds of things people say when she told him she'd try. He had to live 100 years. She told him she'd try. He had to live with that. Case 3. The amenity that killed. The Airbnb listing photos showed a rope swing hanging from a large tree in the yard. It looked exactly like what it was meant to look like. A charming detail, something rustic and inviting, the kind of thing that makes a rental feel like more than just a place to sleep. Zach Stone, a tech journalist, booked the Austin, Texas property for his family's Thanksgiving in approximately 2013. The swing was part of the appeal. On Thanksgiving morning, Zach's father decided to try it. He approached the swing in the yard, sat down, and put his weight on the rope. The tree the swing was attached to split apart. The trunk, rotten internally, structurally compromised, its weakness invisible from the outside, sheared off and came straight down on top of him. Zach later described the moment in a long, detailed essay that became widely read in the years that followed. The trunk fell and struck his father's head, he wrote, immediately ending most of his brain activity. He sat with his father in hospital, understanding.
Bro, imagine that. Bro, imagine you chilling at the crib. Imagine you chilling at the crib, you like, I want to go outside and enjoy the sun today. Bro, you go outside, you sit on your swing, immediately as soon as you sit down, the fucking tree limb that the fucking branch is attached to falls a fucking part, fucking cracks you in your dome piece, and you fucking lose like 95% of your fucking brain. Holy shit, man. Damn, man. Man, my apologies to him, bro. Holy fuck. That's like a 1 in a million, you know what I'm saying, like story. That shit crazy.
Within hours that the man who had walked into that yard that morning was not going to come back. The swing had been advertised in the listing. The host had never had the tree inspected, never evaluated whether it was structurally sound enough to bear a person's weight. There was no warning, no disclaimer, no professional assessment, just a rope tied to a rotting trunk and a photograph that made it look like an amenity. Zach's essay became one of the more significant public critiques of Airbnb's approach to safety. He wrote that hosts were essentially self-certifying, that nothing was done to verify whether the features they advertised were actually safe. Nothing is currently done to make sure hosts actually comply with safety guidelines, he wrote, or even read them. The essay resonated specifically because the detail that killed his father wasn't a malicious act or a freak accident in the traditional sense. It was a photograph. A rope swing in a listing photo implied the swing was a feature, something the host was offering, something that was part of the experience. It implied someone had thought about it. Nobody had. A tree that looked solid from the outside was hollow with rot on the inside, and no one had ever looked closely enough to find out. Airbnb updated some safety language in the period after the piece circulated widely. The company did not introduce proactive property inspections. It did not require hosts to verify that advertised amenities had been checked by anyone qualified to assess them. A man died on Thanksgiving morning because a rope was tied to a dead tree, and the structural change it ultimately produced was largely a revision to some text on a website. Zach had booked the property partly because of that swing. He described it in his essay as the essence of leisure, of southern hospitality, of escape. His father walked toward it on a Thursday morning in November while the family was gathered inside, and he never walked back. Case 4. 3 Americans in Mexico City. Candace Florence, 28, Jordan Marshall, 28, and Cortez Hall, 33, flew to Mexico City in late October 2022 to celebrate Dia de los Muertos. Candace was an entrepreneur from Virginia Beach. Jordan was a teacher, also from Virginia Beach. Cortez taught in New Orleans. 3 friends, a long weekend, one of the world's great cities. They stayed in an Airbnb in an upscale neighborhood. By the morning of October 30th, all 3 of them were dead. At some point during their stay, a fuel-burning appliance in the apartment, most likely a heater or boiler, began leaking carbon monoxide. The gas is colorless and odorless. The first symptoms it produces are headache, nausea, and fatigue, identical to a flu coming on, easy to mistake for tiredness after a long travel day. Candace contacted her boyfriend in the United States at some point, saying she felt unwell. He got worried and called the Airbnb host, asking them to check on the group. By the time anyone entered the apartment, all 3 were already dead. The apartment had no working carbon monoxide detector. Family attorneys announced a wrongful death lawsuit and went public with a specific demand: that Airbnb stop treating CO detectors as optional and mandate them in every single listing worldwide. At the time of Candace, Jordan, and Cortez's deaths, Airbnb had already distributed around 200,000 free detectors to hosts globally. It had also, according to investigators, been aware of CO-related deaths at its properties for nearly a decade. The detectors remained a suggestion, not a requirement. Jordan's mother gave interviews in the weeks that followed. "We want to put pressure on Airbnb to regulate and mandate carbon monoxide detectors going forward," she said. The family's lawyer was more pointed. "They've created bans on parties, on weapons, on cameras. They could easily mandate carbon monoxide detectors too." It's a hard argument to refute. Airbnb has shown repeatedly that it can move fast when it wants to, banning security cameras in bedrooms, cracking down on party houses after Orinda, rolling out new ID verification systems. Each of those changes came after public pressure or a high-profile incident. Detector mandates hadn't come yet, despite years of deaths and years of advocacy from the families of victims. Candace Florence had flown to Mexico City to celebrate one of the most famous festivals in the world. Jordan Marshall was a teacher on a long weekend. Cortez Hall was 33, with a life and a career and people who loved him. All three were dead by the morning of October 30th, poisoned by a gas they couldn't smell or see in a flat that had no device capable of warning them. 3 people who flew to Mexico to enjoy a holiday came home in coffins. The appliance that killed them cost roughly the same to repair as a working detector costs to buy. Case 5. The shower. He never finished. Sebastian Mejia had earned a Fulbright scholarship. He was 24 years old, originally from Florida, and had moved to Rio de Janeiro to research indigenous communities, the kind of fieldwork that takes years of applications and select. Indigenous communities. Originally from Florida, and had moved to Rio de Janeiro to research indigenous communities. The kind of fieldwork that takes years of applications and selection processes to reach. By October 2022, he was settled into a long-term Airbnb rental, the affordable kind you choose when you're living somewhere on a research budget, rather than passing through as a tourist. On October 5th, 2022, he turned on the shower. The bathroom had a gas-powered water heater inside it, a common setup in Brazilian apartments, particularly older ones. The heater was malfunctioning. As Sebastian showered, it pumped carbon monoxide into the small, unventilated room. CO at concentration builds fast in an enclosed space. A hot shower already makes you feel lightheaded. The early symptoms of CO poisoning, warmth, slight dizziness, the sense that your body is getting heavy, blend seamlessly into what hot water does to you anyway. He didn't know what was happening. Nobody does, until it's too late. He lost consciousness in the shower. By the time anyone checked on him, he was dead. A police technical report later confirmed that CO levels in the apartment had reached 4 times the maximum acceptable threshold. There was no detector anywhere in the unit. His father flew to Brazil to collect his son's body. The family filed a lawsuit against Airbnb in California, asking the court not just for damages, but for an injunction, a court order that would force Airbnb to remove listings without CO detectors and to require inspections of fuel-burning equipment before properties could be listed. Sebastian's brother spoke to reporters afterward. "This shouldn't have happened," he said. "It was easily preventable. You should be able to go take a shower and not die." His mother was more concise. "They could pay us $1, she said. "But if they change the policy, it will be totally worth it." Investigators tracking CO deaths at Airbnb properties found at least 19 cases globally between 2013 and the time of Sebastian's death. Mexico, Brazil, Colombia, Chile, China, Taiwan, and more. Gas heaters, boilers, and water heaters in unventilated spaces. Different countries, different victims, the same mechanism. A detector that costs less than a dinner out would have alarmed, woken Sebastian, and bought him time to open a door. He didn't have one. The broader CO picture is worth pausing on. Airbnb announced in early 2014 that it would require hosts to confirm they had CO detectors in all listings by the end of that year. Nearly a decade later, that requirement still hadn't been enforced in any meaningful sense. The company had distributed around 230,000 free detectors to hosts, out of millions of active listings globally.
Still right fucking now. So I'm just confused. Is this what we talking about? This shit down there about to piss me off. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I fuck. Rest in peace to all the people that lost their life. I ain't even like the shit that the motherfuckers is saying about to piss me off. Are we talking about the same people right now? They motherfuckers, these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about me or you, and we making the videos. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, I'm just confused. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
The rest remained optional. Hosts self-reported. Nobody verified. Sebastian had moved to Rio to study indigenous communities, the culmination of years of academic work that got him to a Fulbright scholarship. He was 24. He had the kind of career ahead of him that people describe when they talk about someone having their whole life to look forward to. About this job. This is what I want. Motherfucker, I don't even know about this job description. So how did you find out about this job description? Now, I know that shit be going on like this. I know that they put people in perspective to go around these places and do these nonchalant things to people in these communities, and it ends up like this. But I didn't know that this was a job description. Are you catching me? Am I beating around the bush good enough for you so you can get what I'm saying to you? I hope I am. That's all I'm saying. I hope I am. And we're gonna leave it at that. He didn't make it out of the shower.
I just want to know, how did a 24-year-old of foreign descent find out about this job description?
Case 6. The pool with no bottom warning.
Whether it's for the good or the bad, because he don't know. He don't know. So whether it's good or bad, because it's probably good for him, but where the information going to, I wonder.
Cameron Brown was 16. It was May 2023, spring break, and he was on vacation with his mother and grandmother at a rented home in Orange Park, Clay County, Florida. The property was listed on Airbnb. The reason they booked it was the pool. Cameron got in not long after the family arrived. The pool looked like a standard residential pool. Shallow end, deeper end, the kind you find behind half the houses in Florida. He waded in from the shallow side and moved forward. There were hidden slopes in the pool floor. Abrupt, unmarked drop-offs built into the design, with no depth warnings, no contrasting tile to indicate the transition, and no safety line across the change in grade. Despite the fact that eyelet hooks for exactly that kind of rope were already installed at the drop-off point. Cameron hit the first slope, lost his footing, and found himself suddenly in much deeper water. He couldn't get traction on the slick floor to pull himself back toward the shallow end. His mother, watching from nearby, realized what was happening and jumped in to try to reach him. She couldn't pull him out. Emergency services were called. By the time responders arrived and removed Cameron from the water, he could not be resuscitated. The family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Airbnb, the property owner, and related parties. It settled for $1.3 million, the full amount of available insurance coverage. The attorneys were explicit about what that settlement represented and what it didn't. Once Cameron lost his footing, one of them said, he would have been able to grab onto the line and get to safety. A $100 rope attached to hooks that were already there, waiting to be used. Another lawyer involved in the case put it plainly. People renting through Airbnb, he said, need to start being treated with the same urgency as they treat making money off of their guests. The $1.3 million settlement was every dollar of available insurance coverage. The attorneys used it to make a public argument that pools in short-term rental properties should face the same disclosure and safety requirements as commercial facilities. Hidden slopes, abrupt grade changes, the absence of depth warnings. These are not unusual design features in older residential pools. They're common. What's unusual is renting a property to strangers, including teenagers, and children, without disclosing that the pool behaves nothing like what a typical swimmer would expect. Cameron's mother was in the water trying to reach her son. She watched what happened and couldn't stop it. That's the detail that doesn't get mentioned in the legal filings or the settlement press releases. A $100 rope on an already installed hook. A depth marker on the pool floor. A single line in the listing that said the pool has unusual grade changes.
But I ain't gonna lie. Put it like this though. Put it like this. Is that really the Airbnb fault? Or is that your fault? Because I'm sure you've been around this pool when you got here. So you knew that this pool ain't have no rope in the first place. Because how would you shoot that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So are we going to blame the B&B or are we going to blame ourselves? Or are we going to blame the B&B just because we don't want to blame ourselves? Which one? Let's be real. Let's be real now. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm just saying, let's be real. I mean, we got that. That's what I'm saying. Motherfuckers don't even want to say shit that's really supposed to be said. And motherfuckers want to be pussyfoot and tiptoeing and bushwhacking around the bush, around all this shit. We ain't gonna do that. We got to be real with this shit, bro. Let's just be real with this shit. You know what I mean? And fuck that. I ain't looking at no B&B owner. No, this your goddamn fault. Because you knew goddamn well, good as well, this shit ain't had no rope when you got here. So ain't no way he should have been
any one of those things, and Cameron Brown goes home from spring break. 6 properties, 6 very different ways to die, and one thing running through all of them: the assumption that because something is listed, photographed, and available to book, it has been checked. It hasn't. A rope swing doesn't get inspected because it looks good in a photo. A gas heater doesn't get serviced because no one requires it. A pool gets listed with hidden drop-offs and hooks for a safety rope that was never attached. The question isn't whether Airbnb is inherently dangerous. Most stays end fine. The question is, at what point does the host is responsible stop being an acceptable answer when the same preventable deaths keep happening? Tell us what you think in the comments below. If this episode made you think twice about your next booking, hit like and subscribe. It helps more than you know. We'll see you next time. Stay careful out there.
692G. You could start a hook for at least one Bentley. I'm not sure about the cars behind me. Just stay in the car. Do you need an ambulance?
No, I don't.
All right. Why were you driving over 100 miles an hour?
It's my granddaughter's birthday. I got to get this the next
All
exit.
right. Did you see me trying to catch up to you behind you?
I didn't see that. I saw lights, but it didn't look normal.
All right. Yeah, I'm trying to catch up to you, and you keep taking off.
Oh, no, I'm not trying to outrun you.
I know, I understand that, but that's why I was very confused. All right, because it wasn't like you were running; it was just like you almost hit, I think, 115 miles an hour. All right, and then you just hit someone because you weren't paying attention. Were you looking at your phone?
No, trying to drive. No, I'm not looking at my
The
phone.
person was right in front of you. There's got to be a reason you hit him.
No, I haven't been driving my car in God knows how long.
All right. It was right in front of you. You went straight at it at 100 miles an hour. I'm just making sure you're not having a medical condition or anything. Do you need an ambulance?
No, fuck.
All right. All right. Just your registration. Is your license in here?
No, it's in my pocket.
All right.
Stupid fucking fool.
His ass is old as fucking dirt. Holy shit, this big man so damn old, bruh. That's good to see him still kicking though, man. Damn, that's crazy though.
I've been driven this car quite some time.
It's fast, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, too fucking fast.
State police. Stay
You're
off the
state
road.
police, so I
Yeah.
thought you were one of the guys involved in this.
No.
Holy shit. Did somebody just smash you?
I know, I saw it. I
You
saw
saw it. Oh my god, you saw the whole thing. I am fine,
Is
but I'm
anyone injured?
shaking.
Is
No.
anyone else with you?
My dog.
All right.
The dog
Who's
seems
this
fine.
white car?
She was a helpful bystander.
Yeah.
I started to walk down because I thought I saw you pulling. I thought
No, I was trying to catch up to him because he was going so fast.
he was trying
Yeah.
to pull away and leave it.
No, he wasn't trying to leave. He was just going fast in his fast car. All right.
I'm still like,
You're in this car, right?
My car's fine. It's her. I felt so bad. I was like,
If you want to leave a statement, you could stay for the trooper that's going to take the accident report.
so you just happened to be passing by.
Yeah, I'm going in right now. And
Holy cow. I mean, I was just trying not
No,
to
yeah, I
up on
saw the whole
hill and
thing.
tip over.
Oh, are you okay, baby?
I know.
Shelby?
Yeah.
Hey, Shelby.
Holy cow. Thank God. I'm fine.
Yeah, no, honestly, you're lucky he noticed it last second because he turned. If he hit you straight on, it would have been worse. So, the other troopers are coming. I don't have a computer to do an accident report, but if you grab your license, registration, and insurance, if you decide to stay to leave a statement with that trooper, you'll just need your license.
That's great. You saw the whole thing. The guy,
Yeah.
she said he was weaving and racing with another.
He was just going very fast.
Wow. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank goodness.
Your car's not damaged. You didn't get any debris, right?
no, my car's fine.
I thought I was going to get a lot of debris
So
too.
you were actually trying to pull him over.
I was trying to catch up to him to pull him over.
Oh my God. Can't believe that.
So I had the steady lights on, trying to catch up to
Yeah,
him.
and he wasn't.
And then I saw him going to your car. I was like, holy shit. And then,
Yeah.
Because he must have been texting or something and not looking down because he didn't see me.
yeah, it was something. All right, let's see. As long as everyone's all right. That's what I always say.
Yeah, no.
Seen a lot worse on this.
I bet.
This
I mean, it
highway.
could have been a lot worse because when I was trying to control the car and keep it on the side, I'm seeing this film like, oh my God.
All right, let's leave everything as let's get him to your car.
Okay.
We'll wait for the information. Once we give you the information, you guys can take off.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So you can hop out. You're gonna go back to his car. What was that?
Someone hurt.
No one's hurt. No one's hurt.
Can I pull right over here so he doesn't?
Yeah. That's fine. He's gonna bring it a little closer to you, sir. No, yeah. Luckily, no one's hurt.
Tell me you'll make it out.
Yeah. He's gonna bring the car a little closer. And you don't need an ambulance or anything? You're not hurt? All right. Maybe tomorrow you'll be a little sore.
Yeah.
But, all right, I can get you. You can go to his car now. You need anything else from inside? You're good? Need a hand?
I'm good.
You good?
Well, no one's hurt. That's the biggest. Yes.
Just start from the beginning.
So I was like maybe 2 miles up. I saw this guy like swerving in and out.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God. And then all of a sudden I just saw like a huge cloud of smoke.
Okay.
And I like knew it had to be. And then I saw her. She pulled her head over, and I just pulled over to see if she was okay. It's basically the
So he was weaving in and out.
He was literally weaving in and out. It was.
What would you estimate his speed at compared to yours?
I mean, I was going probably like 65.
Yep.
He had to have been going 90 something.
Okay.
Literally in and out of traffic. It was kind of scary.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. Like, but he was weaving in and out, and I was like, oh my God. And then I saw this cloud of like dust and smoke, and I was like, oh, that's probably.
Do you remember the type of car you had?
It was like a compact now. I don't know.
Compact.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
a small.
There's the guy. Young guy, right?
He's an older gentleman.
Crazy.
Like
Yeah.
50s or 60s?
Maybe more.
Wow. Oh, do you think he's like...
No. No.
He was just... He's a...
Going
old
for a
risk taker. He's an
joyride.
old risk taker.
All right,
You got
thank you.
two people here.
Good luck with everything.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Thanks for stopping.
Vince...
Yeah, he's the at-fault driver.
How do
Number
you say
3.
his name? McMullen?
McMahon.
McMahon, even though it's spelled not...
Yeah, it's
McMahon.
yeah. M-A.
So he's the owner of the WWE?
Yeah, I don't know if he's like, I don't know if he sold part of it or, but
Gee, maybe
he's
my
big.
neck hurts after all.
Well, you
Just
can't do
kidding.
that now. You're on camera.
No, I'm kidding. People do that all the time.
Yeah, they do.
I've had people do that to me when I,
He-
you know, it's like...
he's lucky it was
I'm
you.
not that type. Anyway.
Is it okay if I park?
Just pull right in front of my car. I don't, because it's over a bend over there. All right. He's all right though. Who's this? What's going on?
Here to pick up Mr. McMahon, if this is the...
Yeah, you gotta just. You can get off the next exit.
Okay.
And his assistant's up ahead.
Where is he?
He's up ahead of that. But you can't stop there. It's not. We don't have enough people to protect you guys up there.
All right, would you
All right?
mind if I just walked up there, though?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I just don't want you to get hit.
Okay.
You got a whole entourage here. Yeah, it's someone. I'm telling them to get off. Alright, we'll be getting out of here soon. I'll have his assistant take him off exit 41. Alright, and you can meet him there.
Thank you.
Alright, it's just, I don't want something like that to happen and hit you. Alright,
Thank you.
what's your relation to him?
His friend.
Friend? Alright. Be careful of him. Yeah.
Oh my God. Look at Who's this guy? I want to meet him.
No, don't, you can't go over there.
I can't?
No.
He should want to meet the person he hit.
I know, he's not happy about it. All he cared about was if you were hurt.
Well, that's
Yeah, it
still
was-
my appreciation.
Yeah, no, he meant no ill intention.
And the other guy told me who he is. So,
Yeah.
is he in that car?
Yeah. No, he
tell-
meant no ill. He's very upset.
Well, tell him I appreciate him asking.
All right.
So, anyway.
If you just wait over here, I'll see if you. I'll ask him, but I don't know.
He may want to. I would if I hit somebody,
Yeah.
but you know,
Alright.
just tell him, you know, I'm fine.
All right. They both want to.
What?
He wants to say sorry.
Dude, you know, the car over there, that guy's in? I guess that came over. One of his, he wearing a WWE shirt, going to work.
No way.
I swear to God, dude. And he saw the name, Mr. Man. I was like, that can't be the same one. It can't be.
was on my way to my granddaughter's. Today's her birthday. It's only one exit up.
Hey, Mr. McMahon, how you doing? Hi, I'm the investigating trooper. Okay. So, how you doing? I know who you are. So.
You send out like Reddit's unit.
So Trooper Robbins that was following in the unmarked vehicle said you were doing over 100 miles an hour. All right, before you struck the vehicle. So. All right.
I'm talking to the officer. Talk to him.
All right, so I'm going to be issuing you a misdemeanor summons for reckless driving, okay? So it's just going to take me about 10 minutes to write it up. I'll give you a court date, probably within 3 weeks or a month. Do you reside in Connecticut? I'm not sure. Okay, so it'll be, where are we? Westport?
Yeah.
All right, so it'll be the court right here. I'll give you the address and everything. All right, so just give me 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we'll get you out of here, okay?
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Was it debris from his car or his car, right?
Robbins was following me, I did about 100 miles an hour, which is reckless driving. All right, so I'm charged with reckless driving, following too closely resulting in an accident. That's just striking the other car from the rear. So your court date is going to be in Stanford Superior Court. That's 123 Point Street. Is that date okay? If you have any problems, you can always call the court and change it.
37.
So this is just a court summons. I'm going to give you a copy. You can just sign at the bottom. You're not saying you're guilty. You're saying you're going to go to court. Okay. And this is the appearance bond. All right. I'm releasing you on a $500 non-streaming bond, which means you're not putting up any money. Court summons copy, just bring up the court and give you a copy of this. It's nice meeting you. I'm sorry I was under this circumstances. All right, just let the court know what happened. Everybody's okay. Yep. I know. All right. Have a good day, sir. Nice to meet you.
To meet you guys. Set of circumstances.
Yeah, no. Happy birthday to your granddaughter. Try to enjoy the rest of the day, all right?
Thank you.
All right. Are you going to get that car next?
Yeah, my other driver over there.
Oh, there's another truck coming?
Yeah.
All right, there's another truck right there. He's there now. All right.
Hey, he is. Oh, it's fucking dirt. Hey, and he is a fucking legend. Hey, and I do know 100% that he is an asshole, but he's not a good asshole. I know for sure that he would be like that.
What if death did not arrive as silence, but as sound, the soft pat of paws on a midnight road, the rasp of breath in the fog, and the sudden gleam of burning eyes?
I'm gonna tell y'all why we diving into this. We diving into this because I was watching something. The other day, and it's not the first time I heard it, but I wasn't sure. I was watching something the other day from my boy on Twitter, I am Hefe.
Staring from the darkness. In villages scattered across England, in the lonely hills of Ireland, in the shadowed forests of France, the legend has been whispered for centuries. A colossal black hound. Larger than any natural beast, cloaked in shadows, its eyes glowing like embers torn from the underworld. They call it the Black Dog. Some name it Shuck, others Tu Cid, still others the Chien Noir, but always. It is the same omen. To see the creature is to brush against the veil of mortality itself. Those who encounter it seldom live long after. The Black Dog prowls at thresholds, churchyards, ruined abbeys, places where the world of the living thins, and the presence of the dead presses close. Witnesses speak of its size, the weight of its stare, the chill in the air, as if the hound carries the grave's breath with it. In some tales, it lunges with fury, its claws leaving scorched marks on wood and stone. In others, it does not attack at all, but simply follows, silently, patiently, till the victim's fate finds them days later. Is it demon, guardian, or just the mind-conjuring terrors out of mist? Or perhaps all of these at once? Black Dog not merely a story. But a symbol, a guide, a harbinger whose appearance is never without consequence. And so the question lingers. When you walk alone at night and hear footsteps behind you, is it your own echo or has the Black Dog already chosen to walk beside you? The story begins not in a single place, but across a landscape veiled in mist and steeped in superstition, where the boundaries between the sacred and the profane, the living and the dead, were never as secure as people wished them to be. Imagine England in the late 16th century, a land of windswept coasts, ruined abbeys, and lonely roads carved through heath and marsh. In Norfolk, the church bells tolled against the roar of a storm as villagers whispered of black shuck, the monstrous hound said to stalk the countryside with eyes like burning coals. Ireland too told of its own apparition, the Tool Sida, a spectral dog of the Fy, who ran along hills and graveyards, a dark messenger heralding the imminent approach of death. In France, they whispered of the Chien Noir, whose presence haunted the lonely lanes near Brittany, moving like a shadow before calamity struck. Each tale bore a different name. The figure remained constant. The black black dog was never just an animal, but a sign. A mythic warning that destiny's hand was about to fall, and to understand why such a creature took root in the minds of peasants, clergy, and nobles alike. One must enter their world, a world where shadows stretched long from flickering torchlight, where the howl of wolves in the distance carried reminders of wilderness pressing against the fragile order of villages, and where disease, famine, and sudden death were constant companions. Death was not an abstraction, but a daily visitor. People sought to explain its mysterious rhythms and symbols they could recognize. The black dog became one such symbol, emerging as a guardian of liminal spaces. Churches were not merely sanctuaries, but thresholds. Crossroads were not simply intersections of roads, but crossings of fate. Ruins were not just remnants of stone, but scars upon the landscape, reminders of broken covenants between man and the divine. These were the places where the hound appeared, where the veil was thin, and the boundaries between life and death most fragile. Eyewitness accounts added layers of terror to the legend. The most infamous occurred in 1577 in the town of Bungay, Suffolk. As thunder split the sky and lightning tore across the steeple of St. Mary's Church, a massive black hound was said to have burst through the doors, striking down parishioners in their pews. The beast moved with unnatural speed, its claws raking the wooden doors, leaving burn marks still whispered to exist centuries later. The same night, a similar apparition appeared in Blithburg, tearing through another church, leaving the congregation trembling in the darkness. For villagers, the event was no mere storm, which was proof that the black dog was real, a supernatural force stalking even the holiest of spaces. But the presence of the black dog was not confined to isolated events. Generations of farmers claim to have glimpsed the beast pacing the edges of their fields during harvest, its eyes glowing through the night as though watching, waiting. Fishermen spoke of hearing low growls on the cliffs as they set sail, fearing the voyage would be their last. Travelers crossing the moors recounted the unnerving sensation of being followed, the pad of paws echoing behind them, though no hound could be seen when they turned. The details were always consistent: the immense size, the gleam of crimson eyes, the air heavy with dread. These stories wove themselves into the daily life of communities, whispered around hearth fires and carved into the collective imagination as warnings and omens. It is crucial to recognize that in European folklore, dogs were not merely companions or hunters, but boundary creatures, mediators between realms. They guarded homes, herded flocks, but also